We are Simon and Simon, and just under a year ago we bought a 200-year-old farm that needs a lot of renovation. We just finished renovating the living room as the very first room of the house that we can actually really begin to use as a home. I hope you'll consider subscribing and coming along in our farm renovation adventure. Last time I was out here cleaning these doors with a toilet brush actually, and I forgot to check the weather forecast. I had hoped to be able to give these gates wood protection paint last time, but yeah, we had rain for the rest of the time we were here, so I wasn't really able to do that. But this time I really want to finish this project. It's now a week later, and I've just been checking how the doors look after I have been scrubbing them down with the toilet brush and some wood cleaner, and I really think they look nice. I think they look perfect to be painted with this wood protection paint. So let me get this small task finished, and hopefully we can get these doors, these gates replaced and build some new ones next summer. I talked to our carpenter once he was here, and we had a look at these doors because I was thinking maybe they can be repaired, but he said no. The wood is too rotten for it to make any sense to repair these gates. They have to be replaced. But yeah, it'll be nice to get them painted so it looks a little nicer until we get to this job of replacing these gates. That turned out pretty well, I think. It looks a lot nicer, but it's still very wet and very shiny, so I think I'll show you next time when it's completely dry what the finished result looks like. But actually now when I look at these two gates that are completely black and look really nice, I suddenly look at this gate. That is a dog or an animal gate that we actually found inside the stables when we cleaned out, and it fit right onto here. And there was actually these two, I'm not sure what you call these, where the gate sits on and rotates on. But this gate fit exactly onto here, so this has definitely been used here. But now when I look at it, I suddenly get an urge to paint this black as well. I think I'll ask Simon and see what he thinks if this should be black as well. But it's already beginning to get dark now, so it won't be today that I'm doing this if I'm doing it. But really nice to finish up these gates and have them looking a little better. As I have previously mentioned, we have a field down here at the end of our property, and this field actually used to belong to this farm before it was sold to our neighboring farm in 1999, I think it was. And the farmer, which is our neighbor, which has this field, of course uses it to plant various kinds of crops each year. I think they have a turnus of like 3 different crops, and this year, as I've previously mentioned, it's sugar beets. And I think the other 2 crops are wheat and rye. So next year, next season, it'll be a different crop. And for the last year that we have had this place, we have very curiously followed along at the process of this field and all these sugar beets, how they've grown from small little sprouts to now almost ready to harvest sugar beets. So in just a couple of weeks, these sugar beets will be harvested. And we're actually pretty curious about how these sugar beets look at this point. So we asked our farmer if we could dig up a couple. Also because there is a tradition down here in this part of Denmark where a lot of the sugar beets are grown, that you carve faces from sugar beets. Just like you carve faces in pumpkins for Halloween, down here in this part of Denmark you would use sugar beets instead of pumpkins. So we asked if we could dig up a couple of sugar beets to see how they look and to use them to carve a couple of scary faces. So all three of us have walked down to the field now, and Simon has the shovel. So let's try and dig up a couple of sugar beets.
And this is something we don't usually do because usually she's not allowed out here because of the big machinery and all that. But today I think we can make an exception, and if I can gracefully, or not gracefully, but just somehow get like that, that's fine. So, run.
Yeah, so let's dig up a couple of beets. Simon will do the first one.
This one looks good.
Yeah.
Big and juicy, or just, I don't even know what they're supposed to be, but big, nice color. Is this the one?
Do you think they'll be a little bigger further out?
I don't know.
What about this one?
Yeah, that looks big.
That
they
looks
have
big.
to be big enough for us to carve them out. And I guess
Phoebe is having the time of her life. She's
she
usually not
loves
allowed
it
out here, so.
Yeah. She's never allowed out here, so.
Have you found a better one?
No, I think the one you.
Let's do that one.
Was it this one? No.
That one is pretty big. Let's do that one as the first one.
Okay, and it's all. I mean, it's like halfway up, so it should be easy. Okay.
Is the soil hard to dig in?
There's lots of stone. I mean, the soil is like, also because it's kind of wet now, but it's really soft and easy to dig in. But there's lots of flint in this part of Denmark, I think. So as you can see, I'm almost done.
Yeah, well.
There's something.
Is there something hard there?
Yeah.
Could it be the root of the sugar beet that goes that far down? Whoa. Oh, that's a good one.
A big one.
That's a huge one. Now, I don't know how huge they're going to get, but this one looks really nice. That's one down, one to go.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think I've identified the sugar beet number 2 we want to go with. This one looks pretty big as well. Oh, actually, and the soil is pretty soft here, I think, so this is better. Oh, that was easy.
Oh, that was quite easy.
Yeah, it's a little smaller, but still a really nice sugar beet. 2 sugar beets. I think that should be enough, right?
Yeah, that ought to do it. I mean, this is November and the weather is just amazing.
Yeah.
It's not even cold.
Nope, great.
Hop, 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 hop. Yeah.
2 beets have been dug up, and I think Simon is gonna take them inside and carve a couple of scary faces maybe, so we can get some lights put in them this evening. And also use the leaves as decoration in the living room. Let's check in on that a little later. You should think it was Christmas already. It's not, but close. But have a look at all the packages that just arrived. Holy smokes! SKIL reached out to me and asked if I wanted to try their self-propelled lawnmower, because they noticed that I do have a lawnmower, but it's not self-propelled, and I really like stuff that runs on batteries, so all of these things runs on their battery system. SKIL did not sponsor me, they just sent me these machines to try out and test and see what I think about them. And I can be completely honest, and I intend to be. But I do love new tools and new machines, so of course I'd love to try these things out. The thing I'm most excited to try out is actually this lawnmower. I'm of course gonna unpack everything now because I'm too curious to not do that. But for today, I think it's this lawnmower I'm gonna test out. Whoa, this looks awesome. This tower light is really practical. I love how everything just works on this battery series, and it can be extended to be almost as tall as I am. So I think we'll be using this quite a lot in the coming renovation projects inside and out. This is a really nice breeze for those hot days, and also runs on battery. And this is their rotary hammer, also battery driven of course. And this here thing is a crossline laser, a 360-degree crossline laser. This also runs on battery, but the battery is built in and you just charge it via USB on the back here. Really cool that it comes with this tripod actually. And the laser measure. Also battery driven, but takes regular small batteries. And now for the thing I've been most excited about. This lawnmower looks pretty cool, and it comes with two of these 4 amp hour batteries and the dual charger. So yeah, let's test it out and see how it works. I've now walked to the eastern part of the garden because this is where we have the most regular grass. Because in other parts of the garden right now there's a lot of wood trimmings from all the trees that we've had cut down. So this is the best place I think to test out this lawnmower right now. And it comes with this collection bag, but also this bio-cutting device that you can plug in, and then it'll just mulch all the grass and leaves. And I think this is what I'm going to be using the most, because this is a huge yard and we don't really mind that grass stays on the field as long as it's been cut to tiny pieces, which this will do. But I think I'll try out both options. So now that I've put this collection bag on, I'll keep it on and see what happens here. And we're in the middle of the fall right now, but it's actually pretty warm today. I think it's around 13 or 14 degrees. So the grass should still be growing. But as you can see, there's all the leaves are already coming down here. So there's a lot of leaves. And also right here, we have walnuts, because this tree here is a huge walnut tree. So yeah, let's see how it handles walnuts. And this is the part of the garden where I still have a lot of waste from when we didn't have our own trailer. And I'm still in the process of moving all of this to the recycling center, so that will be gone very soon. But the grass here in this part is actually fairly tall, so I think this will be a nice test area. But there's a lot more grass everywhere. Let's walk over here, because all of this here is of course grass as well. And all of this here in front of the house is grass as well. But right now it's full of twigs all over the place because we've had all these trees cut down. And there's also a lot of these chestnuts in the lawn, because 2 of the trees we had cut down was chestnut trees. So yeah. So this is quite the obstacle course for this lawnmower. And it's also full of dog toys. So yeah, there's that as well to consider. So to start with, I'll test out the lawnmower over here in the eastern part of the garden, where I have a bit nicer lawn without all these twigs and all that. And this here you can adjust how fast you want it to go. It is self-propelled, so it's very nice that you can actually set the speed yourself to whatever feels comfortable. And this is the back lever that makes it go. And to make it cut, you need to press down on this button. And the motor runs. So let's test it out. Okay, so I've only mowed these 2 lanes here, almost nothing, but I just wanted to give my very initial impression. And it seems to have plenty of power to pull itself forward with the self-propelling engines. So that's a really good thing. And also I have pretty long grass and also a bit damp today, so but no problem. It goes up in speed whenever it needs to. So Very convincing so far. But let me do this whole square, this whole part of the garden, and see how it handles. But first I'll actually take this collection bag off because it's already almost full after just these 2 rounds, because I have so much grass here. So let's dump this over here. So I don't think I'll be using this because I have way too much grass for this. But for smaller yards where you really want to keep a tidy lawn, this is probably perfect. I'll stick to this one, I think. Done! That didn't take very long. That was this entire area, and it was very easy just walking behind it actually. So this lawnmower performs really well. The only negative thing, or maybe product improvement or whatever you want to call it, is actually that once it is in motion, and also if you stop, you can't really back it up because these wheels are locked to only go forward. It's like they're locked to the self-propelled motor. So when you need to adjust the machine by rolling it back, you can't really do that. You have to let go of both handles and have it to come to a complete stop before you can actually roll it backwards. You can of course just pull it backwards, but these wheels won't turn backwards until the machine is completely stopped. So it'll be a good thing to plan your route so you don't have to back up very much. And I was thinking about getting a lawn tractor for this huge property. But now that we have this self-propelled lawnmower, I'm not really sure I need it. Let's check the batteries. Can be a little hard to see, but there's 1 line left on each of them. So yeah, it does take some battery to both, of course, run the engine and also the wheels for the self-propelled function. But I think it's a quick charger they come with, so it shouldn't take long to charge the batteries. And of course, it also depends on how large your lawn is. So yeah, I think I'll get a lot of use out of this really nice machine here. I also actually really like to, we did this in our summer house garden as well, use the biomulching function to biodegrade all these leaves. Instead of collecting them, it's easier just to run over them a couple of times during the fall months, and they'll all be gone within very long. It's a really nice weather this afternoon, so really nice to be out in the garden doing a little work out here. Yesterday we dug up these couple of sugar beets, and Simon is now ready to carve them out to make sugar beet lamps. Do you have any special kind of technique for this?
Not at all, except patience, I suppose.
Patience, yeah.
But I don't know, I think maybe if a knife.
Oh.
And then
you're stabbing it. Careful.
Yeah, I know. I always hurt myself with these knives.
But it is sort of just the same thing that you do with pumpkins for Halloween, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was just Halloween some weeks ago, so...
I wonder what this tastes like raw.
Oh yeah, you should taste it. Is it sweet?
It's not sweet at all. It's a bit like raw potato.
Is it?
But no, actually there is some sweetness to it, but not taste-wise, more like a sensation. But it tastes like potato. It's not bad. It's not exciting, but it's not bad.
I'm gonna try it as well.
But it does have some sense of sweetness to it.
There's
like
a little bit of sweetness to it, yeah. Yeah, especially in the aftertaste.
Yeah.
But it's like a potato, but that is more like a cabbage style potato.
Yeah. Okay, so I was gonna give it like a mouth full of teeth, a full set of teeth, but the knife slipped, so now it's a one-tooth wonder. But,
it looks cute with one tooth. I like it.
That'll have to do.
Yeah.
So that's the first one done?
First one done. I think we only showed that we dug up 2 sugar beets, but actually we decided to get just one more.
Cute. This is like kind of tentacles.
Yeah.
But this one has them as well.
This one looks a bit more scary, and it's also the biggest one of them.
Maybe we should do the big one.
Yeah, let's do the big one now. Oh, this second one has gotten very detailed.
Yes, I'm getting better.
Yeah, there's a big difference.
Yes.
You went from one tooth to quite the gap. Cool. And you're gonna do number 3 as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Might as well. Now we dug it up.
Yeah. And Simon finished up all 3 of these sugar beet heads. They look amazing. I can't wait to see them with lights inside. And that's what we managed to do this time around. Be sure to subscribe if you want to follow along as we try to tackle all the small and larger tasks of renovating this farm. See you soon, I hope.